Merry Meetle. It's not a really snazzy post. It's Midwinters Yule, and my fingers feel like they're frozen. I have just finished doing my 3-hour morning jig. It's now 11 a.m. So I started at 8. This is just with the birds and maintenance and that, or the yard, and that's what I'd have to do every day, which I don't mind. I prefer that to other things. But slight digression. This is not what the post is about, but slight digression. I come across a few people that, oh, we're going to be homesteaders. I'm like, really? You sleep all day. Not going to work. If you want to sleep in all day, that's fine. If you want to sleep in, stay up all night or late, that's fine. But if you think you're going to be able to homestead or prep in any way, in regards to dealing with plants and animals and land management and that sort of thing, forget it. I mean, for me, I'm getting up too late at the moment because I am kept up by the neighbour who stomps and plods all night and then sleeps all day. And yeah, they're the one of the ones recently said, oh, we want a homestead. I'm like, yeah, really? Just keep dreaming. It's something that, look, I have heard other people go, oh, doesn't matter what time you wake up, doesn't make you superior if you get up early. And it's like, you're missing the point. Ideally, I need to be up before my birds so I can get things done without them getting in the way before I release them out into the yard, etc. And so that means I have to get up earlier. When I used to ride horses, wow, this is, okay, I'll turn this into a general prepping post. I mean, it is a prepping post anyway. We're looking at socks. There's a reason. When I used to ride horses, we had to do the same thing. I was coached to be an equestrian, by an equestrian. And, we were up at 3 o'clock in the freaking morning. How many 10-year-olds will be getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning to work in the yard, work with horses, to feed them, groom them, prep them, and then put them on the lunge, and then practice your skills before then going to having breakfast and then going to school. That was my life. So I had it ingrained in me in a very early age. And my coach was tough, man. She was tough. She'd stick a chihuahua in her leather jacket, and then she'd stick me at the back of her motorbike, and then we'd go up into the Adelaide Hills. So we rode in Adelaide Hills and also at Glenelg, Lockleys Riding Club. But anyway, I digress. So it's a mindset. I know it's not for everybody. If it's not for you, then just scrub out the possibility of being a prepper of any sort or homesteader, because you need to get up early. If you're going to be managing and dealing with land, animals, and or plants, you need to get your ass out of bed before the shenanigans of nature starts for the day, pretty much. And that's just how it is. But I like it. To me, I don't sit cross-legged with my fingers like this and meditate. To me, when I'm doing those morning chores before all the critters wake up, I'm meditating, I'm zoning out, and I'm just going through the inertia, and sometimes it's a little bit different depending on the time of the year and the seasons. So when it's the lightest time of the year, I can get up even earlier, and it's not so dark. The other thing too is when it's midwinter, you got to be extra careful when you're walking. You don't want to slip on the mud, and it's darker, it's a lot colder, your fingers feel frozen even if you've got gloves on, all that sort of thing. So anyway, that's food for thought. So if you want to prep at any capacity or homestead in any capacity, the one thing that anyone can do right now is get your ass out of bed early. Go to bed early. Don't be one of these You know, and I hate to say it, like, no one wants to be overweight. It's not healthy for you, okay? I'm not having a go at anyone who's overweight. I could arguably say I'm slightly overweight because, I spent all my life lifting weights. So when it comes to the BMI index, you know, you can be a 2% body fat bodybuilder, but you're still overweight, classified under the BMI, so it's kind of a bit of a joke. So I am stocky, but I don't have a large gut or anything like that. Most of the time you see people that stay up all night and sleep in or get up late, they do have issues with trying to regulate their metabolic rate. So unless they're doing something drug-wise. So that's under the belt. And so secondly, you know, I'm not encouraging hoarding on any level, okay? There's a fine line between having enough stock, prepping, and hoarding, you know what I mean? And even when you've got things that you've got, it's a good idea every now and again to just go through things and cull where you need to. But, you know, basics that you always use. So for me, I have different types of socks. I've got bed socks, you know, in the house socks, and then when I'm walking or doing training or on my blades or on my roller skates or, you know, boots on, I have these socks. And the reason why I like these socks, they're skate socks. They literally have, I'll pop open a packet now. And no, I'm not just plugging what kind of socks I get. I'm just going to put this camera slightly down for a sec so I can maneuver this, the joys of point and shoot. But I don't know, I kind of prefer that kind of vlog. It's a video diary, and I don't know, I get put off by the polished stuff. You know, if I want polished stuff, I'll go to the movies. You know what I mean? Not knocking folks that do good content. I do watch that. Okay, so these are Santa Cruz socks, and one of the things I've got high arches, and one of the things I really love is they're elasticated through the arch, so they don't fall down, because it's so irritating. Those of you that've got high arches know what I'm talking about. Is when your socks, you know, creep down. Oh, it's just frustrating as. So, and it feels nice to have this snuggled band around my arch. But, you know, they're meant to not move around, because if you've got skates or blades on, which is what they're meant for, or, you know, boarding, you're not having your socks move around and possibly cause, you know, risk of a fall that's unnecessary because you're not stable or things are moving about, you know, like loose padding. So I really love these socks. So I have a couple of I've got a couple of accounts with skate stores online, and every now and again they have a massive sale, like 40% off. And these 4-packers, I think they're like usually $25. I got them for $10. There's like a 55% off sale or something like that. And, you know, so I didn't just buy a pack in black and a pack in white. I bought 2 lots of each, because my thought was, I'm going to get them now, and then I'm going to put away a pack of black and a pack of white into a prepper's box. So I've got lots of little boxes, or lots of storage boxes in my shed, and they all have different prepper stuff. So stuff that instead of having to go to the shop, I can go to my shed. It's how I like it. I don't like dealing with people more than I have to. Not because I'm really antisocial, I just don't like a lot of the nonsense that we are bombarded with today. And anyway, so my other tip as well, besides getting off your ass, if you really are serious about, you know, prepping in any capacity or homesteading, you know, health is wealth, man. You know, you got to do what you got to do. I'm never going to encourage anyone to be unhealthy. I'm not going to put anyone down who's not healthy or could be better. We all could be better. It never stops, even if you're a professional athlete. So, you know. But finishing off, basically, if you you know the basics you use. So for me, it's those socks, and also these loungy socks, which are cushioned. These are crew socks, but they're cushioned on the inside, so they're super hoogy for in the house, and they're perfect under my Uggs and things like that, or at night. So just really comfy and cozy, reinforced toe. They're on sale too. Those Betty socks are on sale. They're really shit though. When I bought them, I thought they were what they used to be. They literally halved the length. And it was like, now they're literally like ankle socks, even though they're advertised to go to your knee. It's like, what? Knee? Is it to the knee for a midget? So it's getting ridiculous, the stuff that they sell these days. And then the quality is just so crap. And I know I'm probably speaking to the choir there, but anyway. And the other thing I've got too in the shed, which I haven't cracked open yet, is I've got spare compression and training tights. So again, these tights were usually like $50. They still came up. They're not a fancy brand, but they were really good fit and a really good quality for, and up there with the more expensive $100 tights, but just without the Nike swoosh or anything like that. So they were like $10 instead of $50. I'm like, oh, awesome. So I got 10, and I already had like a few pairs. So I've basically stacked 5 into the same box where I had these socks, because I know I use them. Tights are something I use on a daily basis. So if there's things that you use like that, the type of socks you like, the type of even underwear, or the type of tights you like to use in training or trackies, when there's a sale, if you can, don't just buy one for the now, but buy a second to store away. Because contrary to belief, what is put out there, a lot of us that prep or do homesteading to any capacity and are aiming for the ultimate, it's like digression. There's people out there, oh, if you're not off-grid, you're not homesteading. I'm like, fuck off. You can homestead in your unit to a degree. Just stop it. It's just people wanting to feel superior and great about themselves. We are living in pretty hard shit times where a lot of the options and abilities to be self-sufficient are taken away. And you know why. Most people know why, even if they don't admit it. And, so that's crappy attitude. I don't like that. So, where was I? But it's not about doomsday, okay? Proper prepping or homesteading, it's especially prepping, it's not about, when the system collapses. No. I am as poor as a piper right now, or a pauper. And I just keep getting hit. I've had a bit of a bad run. We keep getting hit with things increasing in price. My rent's just gone up $40 each time. Like each rental payment's gone up $40. And it's getting hard. It really is. And I'm paying off a student loan. So there's already $100 coming out each pay straight into the student loan. And I'm not going to pay that till the end of next year, with the installments I'm paying off for the loan. When there's plenty or when there's a bit spare, it's good to get extras. The other thing too is inflation. These socks now are $35, okay? So they've gone up $10. Everything's gone up. So when you buy things when they're on massive sale like that, not because you necessarily need them straight away, or maybe you do, so you buy some for now and buy some for later, but when you take advantage of things like that, so you buy when the opportunity presents opposed to when you need, later on down the track when you need it, if you don't have the money, you've got it there. So, it cracks me up when I hear people go, oh, it's okay, I earn heaps of money. I was like, okay, what happens when bread becomes $50 a loaf? It hits everybody. Inflation hits everybody. And of course, there's dodgy bastards out there who are causing it all, and they're sort of fleecing everyone. We're not talking about it. We're talking about the average person out there, or family or household, from low to middle to upper income brackets. Even the upper incomes, there's like probably 2 doctors working in the house. The dad and mum are working in the house, and they've got, they're going to get hit by something like that when inflation hits everything. So, the value of money is literally like nothing at the moment. It has been for a while, thanks to the fiat currency and usury. So, prepping is also about getting around that. At the moment, last night, I'm like, dang it, all my socks have potatoes, little holes, are worn, lost their elastic, they're all shitty. I'm like, oh, hang on. I've got my shop in my shed. I can go and tap into that. And, to be honest with you, I cannot buy anything extra other than what I'm doing at the moment, for the animals, plants and everything I'm doing, stuff for study, for college. I can't do more than what I'm doing right now. So the occasional book on garn and occasional balls of garn. I do the same with garn. I only buy when it's on special. So, I would have had to have dealt with cold feet in midwinter with holey socks, and I'm not au fait on making my own socks yet. And plus, certain socks like these are made for specific purposes that, my God, if you were going to try to knit that, you'd be like, oh. Housey socks, yeah, easy to knit, but yeah, oh no. If look at things that you use all the time that so maybe it's socks from Bonds, little things like that. They make a big difference. So whenever there's a massive sale, don't just buy what you need for now. Buy extra for when you need to replace that now and put it away. Because that, I think, is more important than having heaps and heaps of money. What's the point of heaps and heaps of money when everything becomes costing heaps and heaps? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm no financier. I'm no expert on money. I have a lot of work to do even on my habits, but at the same time, I do have little things I do. I live below the poverty line. So, these are little things that help me get through life. And also, I just wanted to put out there something in regards to prepping that wasn't ridiculous doomsday drama bullshit like that. That's really irritating. It gets to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, you just tune out. It's like the end of days are coming. It's like, you said that last year, it's just like, oh my God, it's just like, Anyway, digressing. Now I'm starting to ramble. I need to go get myself finally some breakfast. It's like 11:30 a.m. I still haven't had breakfast. Yeah, so if you really want to prep and homestead, these are the sorts of little sacrifices you make and the mindset you kind of got to have. And if you have that and you're willing to do that and have those little sacrifices, all power to you. I'm glad to know you. It's not just me miserable in the morning. No, just joking. I do love it. It's hard, but I love it. So yeah, when there's plenty and it's on sale, good deals, buy extras so you don't have to replace later on. The same thing if you've got children, and lastly, last bit of tip on that is if you have a few children, hand things down, dude. Keep things from your previous children or your older children to give to your younger children because they grow so quickly. You can always upcycle or embellish or switch things up a little bit. You know what I mean, with the same item. But don't throw things out. We throw too much shit out, like we really do. But, you know, save yourself money there. And is not hoarding if you're doing things like this. Now, if you can't walk through your house, I mean, that's hoarding, yeah. Is my place a bit chaotic right now? Yeah, because I still have a lot of things I haven't done yet. So it's just, for me, it's time. I'm struggling with time. But anyway, blessed be Mary Part. Bit of a ramble, but yeah, so get off your ass in the morning if you want to prep any capacity. Get up before the birds, basically. And secondly, when there's stuff on sale, grab it. Get extra for when you have to replace what you've just got. You will thank yourself later. You lose your job, you get injured, you get sick, you lose an income in the household, whatever it is. It's not about doomsday. It's about preparing for times when there's not a plenty. And if it means it's because the inflation or the price of everything's become unaffordable for you, you've just given yourself another year of time. You know, because things can't stay at the same level forever. Things are always in flux and changing. So it's being able to survive and pull through these events and changes in life which are inevitable. And lastly, hand down and reuse things from your older children to your younger children. Don't buy new each time. I'm sure your child will prefer to have food on the table than the most fancy clothes and things like that. You know what I mean? And that should be the priorities anyway. There's lots of amazing things that one can do in life that doesn't cost. And, you know, enough of that. Blessed be Mary Part, and thank you for staying with me, looking at my socks as I rabbit on this cold, icy, drizzly midwinter's morning. Bye for now.